Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Rigathi Gachagua destroyed Raila Odinga completely in his first address while in the United States of America. In this video, I want us to talk about that speech by Rigathi Gachagua. But first of all, I want to talk about something which happened. Was it yesterday or yesterday but one? There is a video I did on this platform. And in that video, I opined that the trip by Rigathi Gachagua to the United States of America for 2 good months was actually a blessing in disguise to President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Because I explained that within those 2 months, William Ruto was going to try to wrestle the control of the mountain from the grip of Rigathi Gachagua. That video attracted several comments. And there are those who felt that, Lee, you are not right. Which I accept, I may not have been right. But you can't deny the fact that William Ruto will be sitting somewhere watching Rigathi Gachagua destroy him in the US while he's out of the country. William Ruto and his team, and I want you to get this, will make attempts to wrestle the control of the mountain from the grip of Rigathi Gachagua. I want you to mark that.
I'm even surprised it went for 2 years. This is a guy who will look at you straight and lie to you, and he cannot even blink, knowing it is a lie. You know, I couldn't take it because I'm not brought up that way. I've been brought up well by my family, by my parents. I am a Christian. I value truth because it's essential. And you know, I started asking him. We promised this. Where you go to Siasa? Say how so? Those we said will create the Hapsalas Fund. You are giving them 500 shillings. What business can you start with 500? Say how? But we told people in broad daylight. We wachana na hiyo maneno watu watasahau. You know? I had a terrible time because we go to meetings, we launch a road, we come with the tractors, we come with the bulldozers, we launch the road. Before we reach Nairobi, the trucks are on the way.
And there are those who actually agreed with me. But what surprised me was the fact that there are some who felt that I'm leaning towards one term. Ladies and gentlemen, what I do on this platform is to present for you an analysis the way I view it. Like right now, Rigathi Gachagua attacked Raila Odinga while in America. Listening to Rigathi Gachagua because I want to explain to you guys my thoughts on this.
I can tell you, Raila Odinga brings nothing to the table. The Kambas who are behind him, they have left. The Kisis who are behind him, they have left. The Luyas have left. The Masais have left. The Luo nation is divided in the middle. Even if they are together, we'll beat them 70+1. Okay? If Raila decides to run, Ruto will be number 4 in the election. So there's no problem. Either way, we are okay.
No, that's Rigathi Gachagua. Allow me to begin this video by asking you this question. Is Raila Odinga relevant in Kenyan politics, politically speaking, today? I need a yes or no answer to that question. Is Raila Odinga relevant?
Raila is totally irrelevant in the Kenyan political discourse. Because every election cycle, he loses, he finds his way into government. He wants to be in government, but he doesn't want responsibility. Yeah? He is there, but somebody else takes the flak. Right now, he finds things are too hot for William Ruto. He is trying to distance himself. But if he was a patriotic Kenyan, and he meant well for our country, he would disengage from Kasongo. But he is talking when his mouth is full. You know? And, they are called table manners. So what we are saying is, and it's very clear, I was saying this morning, forget about him. The support he had across the country is gone. The Kamba nation used to support him, they are not there. The Gusii nation, they are not there. The Luhya nation, they are not there. The Maasai, they are not there. The Mombasa, they are not there. Again, the Gen Z who are going to determine the next election do not want to hear his name, because he betrayed them, and on their blood he negotiated his way into government. The payslip holders who are suffering because of excessive taxation and bad governance don't want anything to do with him, because he is supporting the government that is really humiliating them and making life impossible for them. So we are saying the dialogue that we need is in the ballot box in 2027. That's where we need to sort out this question once and for all. And I think it's good. We cannot keep on having situations and people talk. You know, Raila has been in every dialogue, but the problems of Kenya do not end. I think what we need is transformative leadership. And I think it is time we just persevere for 2 years and sort out this matter once and for all. Si ndio? Wanaume na wanawake waonane, so that hii maneno ifanye nini? Iishe, so that we are able to move forward. So my brother, if there is any talk with William Ruto, I am not available. Yeah? And I am sure my sister here, when I say one term, she has a problem with it, she wants no term. So I don't think she's also available.
That's exactly what I want to analyze in this video. Before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two. Click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Is Raila Odinga relevant, politically speaking, in the Republic of Kenya today? For us to understand that, I want us to focus on Rigathi Gachagua's statement. And I want to approach this video this way. Number one, Rigathi Gachagua is suggesting that the Kamba nation has left Raila Odinga, which is a fact. He's also suggesting that the lawyers have dumped Raila Odinga. Disputable. He's also saying that the Kisis have dumped Raila Odinga, which is a fact. He's also saying the Mountain has dumped Raila Odinga, which is a fact, because the Mountain has never been with Raila Odinga. He's also suggesting that the coastal region have dumped Raila Odinga. And Rigathi is suggesting that even if Raila Odinga were to support William Ruto with these votes, then they will still lose. The question I want to ask, let's assume the Kisis have dumped Raila Odinga. Where have they gone to? The fact is they've gone to Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Why? Because Matiang'i is running for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. But I want to ask you, do you think Fred Matiang'i needs the support of Raila Odinga? If Raila Odinga were to wake up today and say, Fred Matiang'i, I'm supporting your bid for the presidency, do you think Matiang'i needs that support? The truth of the matter is that if this the support which Matiang'i needs more than any other is the support of Raila Odinga. The other question I wanted to ask, the Kamba nation have dumped Raila Odinga, but they've gone for Kalonzo. Do you think Kalonzo may still need Raila Odinga? The fact is, Kalonzo will still need Raila Odinga. The fact is, the Mountain has dumped Raila. They never supported him in large numbers. But the question is, if Rigathi were to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya, will he need Raila Odinga? If Raila were to offer that support. If Raila were to offer that support. The truth is, if Raila were to offer the support, he will gladly accept that support. Which means for me, Raila Odinga is still relevant, politically speaking. But the most critical question, and that's why sometimes I ask these politicians to hire me to advise them. The truth is, there's a general feeling that the Luhya nation have dumped Raila Odinga. The question is, where have they gone to? Yes, I think they are Indians. Huh? I stay next to one of their temples here, so wanarusha hizo maruti zao. Yeah. So the question is, can we comfortably say that the real nation have done Raila Odinga? Where have they gone to? That is the question, in my view, which someone like Rigathi Gachagua should be asking. Because yes, maybe they've left Raila, but to where? To where? Just like the mountain has dumped William Ruto. To where? They are with Rigathi, but Rigathi is not running. So the mountain has dumped Ruto to Rigathi, but Rigathi is not a presidential candidate. To where? Can you say that the mountain has dumped Ruto and now they are with Martha Karua, or now they are with Kalonzo, or maybe now they are with Matiang'i? Can you say that? So for me, the most important question which Rigathi Gachagua should try to answer is one. If all those people have dumped Raila Odinga, where have they gone to? Because they might dump Raila Odinga, then realize later that there's no any other presidential candidate they can vote for. Then they decide to vote for Ruto directly. So that is the first question. Number two, and Rigathi Gachagua is putting it correctly, that Raila Odinga's strongholds have dumped him. I agree. That the Kikuyus have the numbers. He's putting those numbers at 5 point something million. The question which Rigathi Gachagua needs to ask himself is one: are the Kikuyu votes, as far as the IBC register is concerned, true figures? Were they inflated? Because, Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. Okay, Kibaki was the president, left for Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember, because I was participating in politics, one of the issues which were there before was that the figures in IBC register, because remember at some point there were serious discussions about that register, that the figures in the IBC register were actually inflated in favor of the mountain and in favor of the Rift Valley to top up that tyranny of numbers, and that the votes in Raila Odinga's strongholds at those time were suppressed. I remember even during the registration of voters, it was a struggle to find a place to register as a voter for those who were coming from this side. In the mountain, they were even taking these things to schools. I remember at some point there were even photos of young street kids being given IDs and voter register. So is the voter register true? Because you can say that those figures are not there, then IBC will register people and the figures will shock them. And that's why I keep on insisting that for Rigathi Gachagua to be more valuable to the opposition, he should focus on more important things. One of them is how to stop rigging. Because yes, Ruto is saying, because yes, Rigathi is saying that the mountain has left Ruto. But Ruto is saying that he's winning in the northern Kenya, and that the voters in northern Kenya have not increased in number, which means there's a plan to interfere with the voting pattern in the northern Kenya, so that you don't just come with a blanket conclusion that because the lawyer have left Raila, the kisses, then you'll defeat them. That is only possible with a united opposition, which brings me to my third point. Will the opposition in Kenya achieve unity? I've been studying the opposition of late. There is no way you can convince me that Kalonzo will accept not to be on the ballot. Martha Karua is making steps towards becoming a presidential candidate. I doubt if Martha Karua will agree to be a running mate. Fred Matiang'i is laying the ground to run. If, for example, Matiang'i or Kalonzo will bolt out, whatever Rigathi Gachagua is basing his maths on, it's not going to apply. It's not going to apply. So if I were to be given like 20 minutes with Rigathi Gachagua, I'll advise him that the same Raila Odinga is saying is not valuable might actually be more valuable to the opposition. What if Raila Odinga will just wake up one day and say, you know, Mr. Ruto, enough is enough. The police brutalities we've been talking about, the shoot to kill orders, you know, a lot of things. And then he says, I'm exiting. Yeah, it can happen. Raila Odinga did that to Kibaki. It can happen. And lastly, Rigathi is in the United States of America. I've explained what took him there. Discussing the persona of Raila Odinga to a global audience, in my view, is missing the point. The truth of the matter is that Kenyans in diaspora, most of them are well educated, they are moneyed, they know what ails Kenyans, they invest a lot back home. What Rigathi Gachagua needs to tell them is how William Ruto has destroyed the economy and give statistics how his team are going to revive that economy. The trade, how William Ruto has destroyed it and how his team are planning to revive it. The diplomacy, which is currently at its lowest moment. What he and his team are planning to do once they take over. The agriculture sector, what are they planning to do? And of course, the biggest threat in Kenya today, which is corruption. He should be able to explain to Kenyans in the diaspora that, for example, on the issue of SHA or on the issue of affordable housing, using statistics because he was part of the government, he should be able to tell them, like for example, in SHA or housing levy, Kenyans contribute this much and we are building this much. If we are to do this, for example, for 2 years, we should be able to achieve this. And the surplus, or he can explain to them that you don't really need to tax Kenyans to build for them houses. You should explain so that when these people in the diaspora are convinced, they can place their phone call back home and convince their people that, you know, Rigathi was here and he talked so well about corruption, about agriculture, how it's going to change the economy. That is what is called global audience. You don't bring those local politics there. I don't know what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section. Bye-bye.